Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, the Asia Pacific region is at a crossroads. Economic growth has helped reduce poverty, and the region has done so much faster than other parts of the world. With millions lifted out of poverty, most countries now offer their citizens many more opportunities to live longer, healthier, and more productive and secure lives. Nevertheless, rapid economic growth has come at a heavy price. The region's achievements are now threatened by three overlapping crises. The first is COVID 19, a pandemic of inequalities. The COVID 19 pandemic has brought suffering and loss to almost everyone. To date, Asia Pacific accounts for over 57% and 48%, respectively, of officially counted global COVID 19 cases and deaths. COVID 19 has not just killed millions of people, it has also had cascading economic, social, environmental, and technological effects. But those hit hardest have been the poor, with older persons, women, migrants, children, and the youth disproportionately affected, thus widening inequalities. The second is climate change and ecological destruction. The Asia Pacific region is at the forefront of climate change in terms of causes and consequences, accounting for around 55% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Furthermore, the region is facing the world's most severe decline in biodiversity and ecosystems, while air and water pollution kills millions of people every year. All these pressures have a disproportionate impact on the poor. Third, I would say more disasters are ahead. Fueled by climate change, some countries are close to a tipping point beyond which disaster risk will exceed their capacity to respond. Our analysis shows that the difference between 1.5 degrees centigrade and 2 degrees centigrade of global warming is quite substantial in terms of subregional damage and destruction, while also exacerbating the emergence and re-emergence of infectious diseases and pathogens. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, these three crises are compounded by widening inequalities in income and opportunity. And with the emergence of the more recent and rapidly evolving crisis in Ukraine, it is the poor, once again, who are expected to be disproportionately affected, as fuel and food inflation bring heightened food insecurity, hunger, and other socio-economic vulnerabilities. Significant efforts need to be made to anticipate what lies ahead. In particular, there is an urgent need to refocus our attention on the Sustainable Development Goals as the target year of 2030 comes ever closer. The 2022 theme study reflects this imperative, inspired by the Declaration on the Commemoration of the 75th Anniversary of the United Nations and within the overall framework of the report of the Secretary General entitled Our Common Agenda. The theme study identifies the following elements for a regional common agenda for a wealthier but riskier world. 1. Be prepared. No one knows which extreme event will come next. Governments, therefore, need to be prepared through strategic foresight that encompasses comprehensive risk, governance backed by computational innovations. 2. Leave no one behind. In most countries, being poor is the most important factor for being left behind. Central solution is to design, build, and implement social protection systems that ensure the right to social protection for all. 3. Protect our planet. The region needs to take action on climate change by phasing out the use of coal, ending fossil fuel subsidies, and making use of carbon pricing. Action on biodiversity loss and ecosystem degradation, as well as on air and water pollution, is also urgently needed. 4. Place women and girls at the center. This is critical to fulfilling their rights and empowering them, which in turn strengthen their contribution to inclusive and sustainable development solutions. 5. Listen to and work with young people. Youth should have equal representation in parliaments and citizen assemblies and be involved in the development of environmental policies that reflect the needs of future generations. 6. Improve digital cooperation. cost-effective public investment in ICT infrastructure, and scaled-up investment in training and education for those who have little experience with ICT need further attention. In this regard, the private sector is a key government partner. 7. Boost partnership for enhanced trade and foreign direct investment as engines of growth with simplified and digitalized trade procedure. 8. Ensure sustainable financing. To create sufficient fiscal space, it will be important for countries at the national level to curb non-developmental expenditure, move to more progressive form of taxation, and raise funds through innovative instruments. Finally, ESCAP is ready to serve. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, ESCAP was established 75 years ago to help post-war reconstruction and advance the economic and social development of countries in the region. The challenges have changed, but the need for multilateralism and regional cooperation is as great today as it was 75 years ago. By strengthening and leveraging the most inclusive intergovernmental platform in the region, ESCAP can support member states in tackling persistent and emerging challenges. While regional cooperation agreements and frameworks developed by ESCAP have focused, for example, on enhancing regional transport connectivity and trade integration, future cooperation framework must continue to put our region people at their core. As we prepare to reclaim our future, ESCAP stands ready to serve in the implementation of this common agenda for all the people of Asia and the Pacific. Thank you very much.